A number of ex-military officers want President Trump to declare martial law as Congress is getting poised to block electors. In this video, we're going to take a look at the latest front that's opening up in the battle for electoral integrity. We're going to take a look at the latest calls on President Trump to invoke emergency powers with new revelations of foreign interference in our election, and how a number of congressmen are indeed rising up promising to block the Electoral College and throw this election over to Congress, almost guaranteeing President Trump's reelection. You are not going to want to miss this. Welcome, everyone. Dr. Steve here with you, ready to bring you our latest episode celebrating the inevitable collapse of left-wing globalism and the unstoppable rise of a new conservative age. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. We'd love to have you as a regular part of this channel, where each and every single day we focus on optimism and encouragement in the midst of all the defeatist fake news nonsense that's spewed out by the mainstream media. But first, let's give a huge shout out to the sponsor of this video, and that's collagen, available at my special website, healthwithsteveturley.com. Now, if you don't know, collagen may actually be the closest thing we'll ever get to a real fountain of youth. Many health experts now agree that consuming collagen helps to renew and revitalize how you look and how you feel. You know, taking collagen regularly can revitalize your body. It can make your skin, your bones, even your hair look and feel more healthy and youthful. Can you tell I use it every single day? I put in my coffee in the morning. It's great. And if you click on that link below today, you can get 51% off your order. So don't wait. Click on that link below today. Get your own collagen supply. You will be glad that you did. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. In our last live stream last night, we saw that things were about to explode, right? A perfect storm is brewing as we speak that's going to literally rock the roof off of this nation. The last 12 hours have been no exception to this. For those who are interested in what's really going on here, you know, we're not talking those who buried their heads in the sand like the mainstream media. For those interested in what is actually happening and unfolding, things really are starting to heat up, and that's because there's a new layer of action that appears to be emerging here. Certainly a new layer that's being exhorted and championed by many. So if you've been following these videos over the last several weeks, I've noted that this really has thus far been a war of sorts fought on two fronts, the legal and the legislative, right? The legal and the legislative are like two flanks in a single attack. So you've got the Rudy Giuliani-led Trump legal team fighting the fight in the courts, and you have the Republican-led legislatures in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Georgia, and most recently Arizona, taking the fight up to Congress, especially in terms of seating dueling electors who will meet on January 6th. While all of that is heating up, there's now a new front that appears to be opening up here, and that's the front of executive powers being used in this fight. So you've got the legal front, you've got the legislative front, and now more and more advisors are coming out and saying that President Trump needs to begin implementing executive powers in this fight. It's pretty astonishing stuff. An executive front is opening up. So among the loudest voices advocating for executive action are lawyers Lynn Wood, Sidney Powell. Lynn Wood is calling for the president to institute martial law. And for Wood, this would be in response to the Supreme Court's continued obstinance in refusing to get involved in this whole thing. Lynn Wood has his own case. It's on the court's dock, as it were, but he's not resting comfortably on that. He told Newsmax TV that if the Supreme Court continues to dodge this thing, pushing the challenges away based on procedural technical issues like lack of standing and the like, he's calling on President Trump to actually declare martial law in order to hold off the Electoral College from certifying their vote until this mess is sorted out. Now, Lynn Wood isn't alone in this. You may have heard that there's been a number of ex-military officers urging President Trump to actually declare martial law in an effort to right the wrongs perpetrated on November 3rd. So you've got General Michael Flynn, Trump's former national security advisor. He's been most vocal in advocating precisely that. He retweeted out a full-page ad in the Washington Times from the We the People convention, which is drawing a comparison between Lincoln's attempt to save the Union back in 1863 and Trump's attempt to vindicate electoral integrity in 2020. And in light of such a comparison, the We the People Convention is calling on President Trump to declare limited martial law to temporarily suspend the Constitution in order to hold a presidential election revote overseen by the military. Now, obviously, Flynn isn't alone on this. A number of ex-military officers, they're advocating that Trump declare some kind of martial law in order to rectify what they're seeing as a clear improprieties and clear, shenanigans going on throughout this electoral process. And that's certainly the perspective of tens of millions of Americans. And in addition to martial law, another executive action is being advocated, and this is by Sidney Powell. She told the Epoch Times that there was enough foreign interference in the November 3rd election that it's more than sufficient, in her words, to trigger President Trump's executive order on foreign interference issued back in 2018. So in September 2018, Trump signed an executive order that declares, and I quote, "Not later than 45 days after the conclusion of a United States election, the Director of National Intelligence, in consultation with the heads of any other appropriate executive departments and agencies, shall conduct an assessment of any information indicating that a foreign government or any person acting as an agent of or on behalf of a foreign government has acted with the intent or purpose of interfering in that election." Now, interestingly enough, that is precisely what the DNI, the Director of National Intelligence, has in fact concluded. CBS News is reporting that John Ratcliffe, Director of National Intelligence, has confirmed that there was indeed foreign election interference, most particularly by China. And Sidney Powell is arguing that such interference, by definition of the executive order signed in 2018, does give President Trump enormous emergency powers, such as being able to appoint a special prosecutor, impounding every single Dominion voting machine throughout the nation, and the like. So we're seeing a definite ratcheting up, as it were, of the rhetoric surrounding executive emergency actions, which is opening up, in effect, a third front in this war for election integrity. Now, while all of this is going on, things are seriously heating up on Capitol Hill. Now, before we get into that, I want to personally invite you to our exclusive New Year's virtual conference on January 9th, 2021, to help you feel prepared for the year ahead. We're going to give you the information you need to remain strong and confident whatever may come, precisely because we're going to give you a long-term perspective that'll give you the assurance you need to head into the new year with confidence and resolve. Now, seating for the conference is limited, and to make it even better, as of today, we've got our early bird sale pricing that you could take advantage of. It ends literally in hours on Friday at midnight. And if you join our Insiders Club, you can get even more of a discount. So don't wait. Click on the link below and take advantage of our early bird registration special, which ends this Friday. And you'll be glad to know that a portion of the proceeds are going to go to Good Neighbors Home Repair. So not only are you going to get blessed because of this event, but you're going to bless others with your registration as well. So do not wait. Click on that link below. Register for our New Year's virtual conference today. All right. So things are seriously heating up on Capitol Hill. House Republican Mo Brooks is leading the charge in the House, calling on his fellow congressional Republicans to sign on to his effort to challenge the certification of the Electoral College's vote on January 6th, calling Joe Biden's election victory, quote, illegitimate. Okay, that's Mo Brooks. He's being joined by two of the newest members of Congress, Barry Moore of Alabama and Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia, both of whom have pledged to vote against the certification of the pending Electoral College votes. Over on into the Senate, Senator Rand Paul is starting to make some noise here as well. It's being reported that he is considering joining Congressman Mo Brooks in objecting to the certification of Electoral College votes in Congress. And Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri has also stated that he's considering blocking the certification of the Electoral College votes. Now, this is necessary. These both chambers of Congress, it's necessary to challenge the Electoral College. You have to have an objection filed and endorsed by at least one U.S. Senator and one U.S. Representative. And once filed and endorsed, both chambers of Congress, the Senate and the House, then have to have constitutionally a debate I believe it's mandated to be at least 2 hours, 2-hour debate over the merits and demerits of the objection. After that debate, both the Senate and the House of Representatives take a vote. Now, this is where it gets very, very interesting. In the Senate, the vote will be per senator, with the Vice President Mike Pence being the deciding vote if needed in the Senate. But over in the House, the vote will only be 1 vote per delegation, per state, not per House member. So we've talked about this before. In the event that the election gets kicked into the House of Representatives, a team of delegates is sent from each state's legislature, which casts a single vote for the president. And as of January, there will be 30 Republican states voting versus 20 Democrat states voting, each with 1 vote, and Trump secures his reelection easily. This is why a number of pundits are recognizing that Trump actually has this. While Biden has secured the electoral votes from electors seated by secretaries of state, no question, in the end, it is a combination of Republican state legislatures, along with Republicans on Capitol Hill, that's going to ultimately decide this election, which means that President Trump will inevitably secure his reelection. Now, of course, there's lots of bumps going on along the way, but even the New York Times recognizes that when all is said and done, Vice President Pence, who is the president of the Senate, may indeed force this into the House of Representatives by refusing to certify the Electoral College vote on January 6th. So this is far from over. And of course, we'll be keeping our eyes now on the 3 theaters of this campaign: the legislative, the legal, and now increasingly the executive. Now, before you go, make sure to like this video, comment down below, and you'll definitely want to subscribe to my channel, and you'll definitely want to check out my latest video. I just uploaded it on how things really are about to absolutely explode. It was from our live stream last night. I give you a nice summary of everything to watch over for the next couple of days. You're not going to want to miss it, so make sure to click on the link, and I will see you over there. God bless.